Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for the 3rd of March. And in a nutshell, we're either have wave 4 in place here, or we're looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here, and then coming down here again to make it larger. I mean, I would naturally think that this wave 4 here, compared to this wave 4 of one lesser degree here, this is the size of this one. So this one's a larger degree, so it should be bigger than this correction here. So normally we'd look at this being 60% bigger than the previous correction. So yeah, so something we need to work through. I might work through on ETH actually, rather than Bitcoin, and I'll come back to Bitcoin for a moment. So don't worry about that count too much just yet. So the reason I'm starting with ETH for, and you know this from the last 2 or 3 videos, is that we have a nice perfect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here for an A wave here for Bitcoin and also for ETH as well. And then we have our correction, which is fine, an ABC coming back up to our 50-60% retracement level. And then in this case here, we've got a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down here to finish this off as wave C here. Now, it's possible, well, Bitcoin doesn't come down as nicely here. Bitcoin has got this high here is above this high here. So it chucks a bit of a spanner in the works, but I've treated Bitcoin the same as this one here and the same as the crypto indexes as well. So it's possible that all of this move down here in 3 waves here is corrective as wave A here. Then we would move up for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for wave B. And then we would have our move down here a little bit lower than this low here, and also 5 waves down here. So what we've got to try and figure out is that, is this one correct or is this one correct? Now, I won't know that for a time, as I said before. It's just something that we need to work through. You may have an opinion, you may know something, and that's great, but I have to work through it. So I was looking at this move coming up here as an impulse wave, and it doesn't matter if it's wave 1 or wave A. Just grab wave A here for this, because we need to be a bit balanced about these things. So yeah, we're looking for 5 waves up, and then we're looking for an an ABC correction. So that's come into play. That should just be about finished by now. And then we'll be looking for this move up through here. So we'll be looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, something of this nature. It may not reach the top here, or it may even go past it. Might struggle at the 1650 here, these old highs here. It doesn't really matter, but all we're looking for essentially is we're looking for 5 waves here. Now, if the market moves past this top here, then we know that we've got a bullish move at that point. Or unless we see this would be a 3rd wave moving up. So if the 3rd wave was like looking really powerful, moving up like this one is on this angle here, if this moved up quicker here, right, then it would be a 3rd wave. If it's going to be a lazy C wave, it will just be off to the side over here, you know. So the personality might be able to give us a lead first in all of this. But yeah, I'm not sure what we've actually got here with this, but we're going to go in here and have a look at the internal structure of that little move to the upside there, because that's what we'd been counting yesterday and the day before. So a little bit messy, but our first job was to count these 5 waves up here and nail that down. And if we got 5 waves there, then we knew that we were starting either wave 1 or wave A to the upside here. You know, we didn't know that either at that point, you know, but having the 5 waves here tells us, well, if we get 5 waves in the opposite direction of the previous trend coming down, that means we'll get another 5 waves. So that would pick us up to the upside. So, but that's all played out really nicely now. So we've got 5 waves here, which you can look at wave 1 or wave A, and then the A wave, the B wave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. So we're finished here now. So we're going to start building up through here. And of course, if you wanted to go long, well then a classic trading levels pattern on here. So we've got the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, yada, 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 you know the story. So you'll be able to work in that way or another, and then up from that point. So you just need to leave the stop out. And in fact, we've also got our first little impulse wave there with an ABC here. So it won't hang around here too long. It will just cruise up. But anyway, there's a long trade, and we can trade that up to, well, we'll just see how it goes, I guess, you know. But what we're looking for is another 5 waves up into this structure, and then we've got to pin that top in. We've got to figure out if it's an A and a B and a C, and I just can't do that yet. It's as simple as that. So the puzzle is falling into place, but it still could be either of them at this stage. So let's have a look at Bitcoin. Now, we could have the same count for Bitcoin, but I also this is probably not the case, but I had this here last time, so it's just left here. So an A wave to this point, then an A and 3 waves here and a B wave, because we've got that high there. And then this would be a C wave in 5 waves. And if that was the case, then we would just move lower at this point. We would just come down here as 5 waves here. But I don't think that's the case, because it looks a little bit corrective here. But we'd still need to acknowledge this, and we need to move on past it. We need to know what's wrong, if we're going to be wrong or right here. This is my chart things here. So I've got 3.7 Bitcoin now, 104k invested, and that 34 position, maybe 36 position, because I brought these 2 over, which were I had some cash here, which I bought $3,000 worth here, another 3,000 here. I moved over my Polkadot and my XRP over here, and I moved it into this low here. I wanted to build this up this point, so that's all good. But anyway, so yeah, I'm not trading, I'm just stacking. Let's just move into the hourly chart and pick things up a little bit. So this is the same pattern as ETH, except for this little high here that's caused a problem. So I'm taking a little bit of liberty here, and I'm just going to say that this is 5 waves down through here as wave 1 here, and wave 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here. And I'm doing that because of the way this is finished off here in 3 waves. If this one here was a C wave coming down here in 5 waves, well then I wouldn't do that. But because it's in 3 waves here, then I can take the liberty and say that this is the correct move here for this. So, but anyway, it'll all come out in the wash. The 50 is a trading level 5. It's a major level, medium level 40, and the rest are minor levels and sub levels. So yeah, we need to investigate this here. Yesterday, well, over the last couple of days, we've been tracking this all up through here and looking that we would get 5 waves up into the 50 here and then pull back. So I feel like we've got that. So, but like I said, we need to get, well, we better label this here. We could probably label it green or blue, you know. I think I'll just label it blue. That will make me think about things a little bit more. Probably not correct, but it'll just make me think outside the box a bit, because otherwise we get sort of locked into our own thoughts a bit. So, and normally if that's the case, then wave 3 will come in at the old high here, and then there'll be wave 4. Do I have one sitting here? No, just a lot of other stuff. Anyway, not to matter too much, but that would be 1 and 2. Strong third wave here. and then the fourth wave, and then the fifth wave. Because it's once we get above the 50 here and people start to see patterns that they recognize, you know, and they'll all start piling in. That's where the volume will come in. So anyway, let's go to the tick chart here for a moment. Okay, so that's our low here that we've been working with, and I had all that labeled, but I don't need to, I took it out because I didn't need it there anymore, but we did our job as 1 and 2 there, and 3 and 4 here, and 5 here. And then we've got a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, a little ABC for the B wave, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Bit dodgy towards the end, but maybe it will pan out all right. Anyway, not to worry. But yeah, we're starting to impulse up, so that's good. So technically we want to get past, just in case there's a bigger bear market coming, then that's where it would fail from at this point, and we would need to see it move lower from that point there. So before on the 4-hour chart I had this as a C wave up here, you know, but I would need to see down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2 here, and fail here and move down. So moving above that would throw that bearish pattern out as such. Still not the other pattern. We still need to look at this here as wave A or wave 1 in blue. But we will be looking for a pattern like this here over here. Now, the angle of this one here is what it is. If this is going to be a third wave to the upside, then we'd want to see it looking a bit more perky, you know what I mean? Like a bit more moving up stronger than that. But that was pretty good. That's like a 45-degree angle. That's the balance line for something. You know, if you divide the circle up into 360, then 90s and 45s, that GAN sort of stuff. So yeah, we're looking here at that kind of distance, and we'll also be looking for 5 waves. So yeah, I mean, by all means, trade long anywhere within here, doesn't really matter, and we'll be looking for 5 waves up here. So probably 1 and 2 here, the reaction, and then this will move up here, probably, I don't know, be something like this here. Struggling to find support maybe for a while. Anyway, we have to get past, once we count these 5 waves here and then we move past that, then we know that we've got a bullish market. But if we don't get past this, then that becomes the B wave up here, and that's the end of that show, the end of that run there. So if you're trading this, if you're a trader, then you're going to, you know, you're going to need to manage your exposure at that point in time with this. Okay, but we've got a position here for traders, and now we've got another one here. So you definitely, well, if you're with Tradinglounge, we'll be doing a video tomorrow, so you'll be able to we'll be able to see where we are. We can examine what's occurred here, and we'll have some idea of what to do. But if not, then you'll need to take some money off the table at 53,000, maybe a tad higher, but that would be the number to trade to. The other thing I want to have a look at, 2 things. One of them, is this little guy here. This is for my friend Verena in New Zealand, and she asked me to have a look at it, so I just thought I'd share this. So it's XLM. I don't know much about this, but it was with Ripple, and now it's moved away from Ripple. It moved away from Ripple when it had this move through here for that. So it's sort of, yeah, but I'm thinking that if Ripple's got that court case going on, hasn't it? So I don't know the outcome of that and how that's going. But whatever happens to XPR in terms of the SEC, validating the tokens as shares rather than decentralized tokens, then if XRP falls, then all of these other guys, all these little ones are going to fall too from that court case, aren't they? But I don't know much about that. It's just my a thoughts. I mean, but I'll certainly investigate it. That's why I kind of moved out of XRP and Polkadot and that, and just gone into Bitcoin. Once that's resolved, then I'll move back in. But what I wanted to say about this is that just about the patterns with this is that as we move through time and space, then the patterns get bigger. Unless you go into sort of percentages or log scales and so on. So really this pattern here is a little bit similar to this pattern here. This one was at the previous major level of 30, and then this one here is at 50, which is this level here. So yeah, this has got support at 30, but it's a correction that's occurring at the 50. 5 being the second strongest number. So I think that what I was thinking is this is a 1 hour chart, and I was thinking that that this leg down here is just like wave A here. So I think that this leg here is just, as a mirror image, is just this leg here. Okay, I think this here's got to occur. Now, it won't be exactly the same, but it will be same but different, you know? So I think it will sort of play out over this way with that. If you're already in this market, then you're in it, and you're in it to win it. So you need to basically hang on with this. The other point here is that you can't really count 5 waves up here. You could count 1, 2, 3 here, and then 4 here overlaps the top of wave 1. So we can't count it impulsively. We'd have to count it as an A, B, C here for an A wave, a B wave here, and a C wave here in 5 waves. So in a nutshell, an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. And what's that? I mean, it could still push up further, because this could just be an A wave to here, then another A, B, and C to here for the B wave, and then up for the C wave, and then go down. So it could get quite messy sideways here for a while. But I think the thing we need to be aware of here is that because this is in 3 waves here, then it makes whatever happens here part of a corrective rally. And in a way, we should be taking that low out here again in some way. Now, it could be the A, B, C here for the rally, and then down for 1, back for 2, and down for 3, 4, and 5. But this down for 1 here and across for 2 here, that doesn't look like a wave 2 to me. This is something else going on here. So I just feel that it's going to be creeping sideways, and I just feel that this would be, you know how these are going sideways here? They're sitting on the level. I think I think we're in here somewhere with this, you know? I think we've got more time for this to play out here for that. So, yeah, it's a little bit tricky, but I think the other part about this though is that the main point about this really is that this is a corrective pattern, right? So because we can't count this down as 1 here and 2 here and down for 3 here and back for 4 here, because we're overlapping wave structures here. So we're in a corrective pattern here. So this is a corrective pattern. It's just going to go on for a little bit longer, and eventually it should take out the tops like it did over here. But I think we've got to tack that kind of behavior here onto the end over here somewhere. That's what I think. The other one that I wanted to look at too is Riot. Let me find it. My watch list. I thought I had it here. Maybe it was on my other machine. I'm probably staring at it. That's a bit weird. Oh, there it is. So I haven't labelled this either, but this is really just That's at 80, so that's a major level. So Riot is a Riot blockchain, so I'm just assuming that it's mining. 50 is the next level here. Not quite accurate, but there we go. So all the major levels are in orange, so we could look at 10, 20, 30, 50, 80. So really it's just the Fibonacci numbers 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8. And we use them as a price ratio because the ratio between these numbers is different. And the further you go out in the 61.8%, the truer they become. So anyway, we know that retracements and extensions work using those numbers. So I've used them as price ratios. And they seem to do the trick quite well. There's a little bit more to it. They bring in a bit of psychology with all of that as well, with whole numbers and yada yada yada. But the geometry is there for those. So, anyway, what I was going to say here is that this particular count coming down through here, and this is a 1 hour chart. It could be finished as well here because we're not out of the woods yet. But this would be wave 1 here, or wave A. And wave B here, then 1, 2, 3 here, 4 here and 5 here. So we could label this here as the A wave, the B wave and the C wave here for this. So it's in the same situation as the other guys, you know. I'll just label this because now I'm here with it. It will just save me time later on. So it's the same thing with Bitcoin, and I kind of like this too because it's just a little bit lazy. See how this is just a bit lazier here than the A wave? So I feel like, I mean, it could be a wave 4 here, coming back up to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree and dropping again. That, if that happens, then you've got a problem at that point. If we make a new low here, well, you've got a problem then, because then this will be wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. And in that case, you'll have an ABC back up here, and then you'll have another 5 waves down here. So you need that low to stay in place here. We could look at it like this here, like we're doing with Bitcoin and that, back up to the 50-60% retracement level. So the A wave here, the B wave here, and a C wave down here. So we don't know that yet, do we? But all I wanted to do today was just point out that this pattern is same, you know. So we'll see how we play out with that. Alrighty, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.